Hello, hello, hello. I hope that you are doing well today. Today, I want to chat about something a little bit different with you. If you've been hanging in my little world for a little while, or on Mojo's little world, shall I say, corner of the world, you would know that I am obsessed with all things relating to the mind and how the mind functions and works. And I recently actually graduated and became a qualified hypnotherapist. And maybe you're thinking, shit, how does this work with e-commerce businesses and growing your online store? Well, stick with me because I'm going to be sharing with you why your brain is actually going to be the decider whether you're going to be succeeding or not. And your brain actually needs a lot of programs for it in order for you to succeed and do well in life. And self-talk is a way that we use to program new positive stories into our brain, and our brain learns with repetition. So you kind of need to do it a lot. But it's actually based on neuroscience, and neuroscience isn't anything hectic to explain. It basically is just the science of how the brain works, and it isn't that hard to understand, but you need to understand that your brain is recording every single message that you give it. And for example, like this morning, I was busy swimming, and in my swim stage, I was on, I had to do a really hard set. And we were on 200 meters. I had to do a part of 600 meter sprints, and on 200 meters, I was like, shit, this is really hard. Oh my God, I'm going to die. And this is just, I don't know how I'm going to finish. I'm not even halfway. And I had to catch myself and tell myself, hey, this isn't really the type of thinking that my body needs right now for me to actually see it through all the way. We're not always aware of the programs that are running in our mind. And so it does take some practice. And so the other thing that I wanted to share with you is that your brain is recording every message that you give it. And it doesn't care whether it's true or false, or whether it's supportive or not supportive, if it's true or untrue. Your brain doesn't really care. It just takes whatever you tell it, whether it's good or bad or positive or negative, it just records it and acts on it. Now, you can imagine with my stinking thinking that I had this morning, my set was really hard. I wasn't helping myself. I really had to catch myself and tell myself, hey, one lap, focus on this lap. I'm unstoppable. I had to reinforce new positive stories to myself or my brain to be like, oh, she's unstoppable. Guess we need to do that. And so any message that you're sending to your brain repeatedly is, whether you're reading it or you're speaking it, or listening to it, whether it's, especially when it comes to people being obsessed with social media and the news, whether you're listening to it or reading it, this actually gets wired into your brain. And I know that you probably don't believe that the negative impact that it has, but over time, these programs are running in the background all the time. So I want you to focus on the stories that you're telling yourself. Are you saying things like, this is a nightmare, you drive me crazy, I can't deal with this is too hard, this is just too much? These are things that we often internally complain about, and your brain is listening to every single thought that you are telling yourself. And so I want you to focus on giving your brain the right messages. And these messages, it actually it's like a form of self-talk that you need to have with yourself. And you need to tell yourself these uplifting and better positive stories ongoing, because over time, that is what we are going to be wiring into our brains. And as I said before, our brain learns with repetition. So it does take a practice. It's a self-talk practice. And we are trying to build new neural pathways in our brain that are actually supporting us towards the person that we want to become. And as I said, your brain doesn't really care whether it's true or not. And so we need to keep reinforcing those positive messages. And so the more we practice the right self-talk, obviously, the more new neural pathways we're going to be building and wiring into our brain. So one way you can do this is by reading uplifting talk, like a small little message in the morning. It's not a rah-rah motivational. It's actually a message that you're planting in your brain over and over and over. Positive reinforcement of the outcome that you want to create. And I'm going to be making it my mission to be sharing positive self-talk stories with you. So I hope that you do regularly screenshot the stories that I'm going to be sharing so that you can, over time, start programming these positive self-talk stories into your brain so that we can create an autobahn in our brain towards the perfect, happy outcome that we want to create instead of the, oh my God, you're driving me freaking crazy. And so one way I do this with myself is we do need to be aware of our thoughts. So like I said, this morning in my swimming, I was like, shit, this story ain't gonna help me get to the finish line. And I had to end on 2.6 kilometers. So I was already having thinking shitty thoughts on meter 200. And so simple things I tell myself on repeat over and over and over is just the simple words, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. So I don't have to lie to myself and tell me I'm the best swimmer in the world. My brain's going to be like, yeah, no, you're not. But I just say something that is true. I am unstoppable. So I hope that this has been helpful for you. Send me a message below and let me know what some stinking thinking thoughts that you have that you want to rewire into your brain and create some positive self-talk stories around. And I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Bye, guys.